Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to On-Air, and I am your host, Ryan Ayers. In tonight's edition of On-Air, we're going to break down and preview the Wimbledon Championships that will be starting tomorrow morning. Last time around, we had the French Open, and when we had that preview, we mainly discussed the men's side of the draw. Tonight, we're going to touch more on the women's draw. There's more intrigue in the female draw this year and in this tournament. And that's obviously due to the rise of Gabby Muguruza and maybe the decline of Serena Williams. We'll touch on that in a minute. But right now, just want to preview the men's side. We know what we're probably going to expect again is we're going to see Novak Djokovic and Andy Murray in the final. Roger Federer is back and healthy. He saved all his bullets, if you will, for this tournament instead of playing the French, which would have been probably an ultimate disaster for him. He could have gotten even more injured, even more back issues coming in to Wimbledon. But he's obviously always going to be a guy you're going to want to talk about. His second home is London, England, basically, in the Wimbledon tennis courts. But I think when it comes down to it, Andy Murray is going to get through his end of the draw. And because Roger Federer has to go up against Novak Djokovic on his side, it's going to make it virtually impossible with the way Novak Djokovic is playing right now. He could go for 5 straight major Grand Slam titles with another win here at the Wimbledon Championships 2 weeks from today. And I suspect that's what's going to take place. Novak is just playing so far above everybody else. And so there's less intrigue for the men's side. So we're going to skip over to the women's side. Serena Williams, it was a year ago at this tournament, she took down a Grand Slam championship, her last Grand Slam championship, one away from tying Steffi Graf. We thought, oh, hum-ho, it's going to be easy does it for her to take down the U.S. Open championship 2 months later, and that didn't happen. And ever since that, I think she's felt the pressure more and more. She had a long offseason after losing in the semifinals at the U.S. Open last summer, and now it's been a year later, and she feels it even more, dropping the final in Australia and dropping the final to Gabby Muguruza at the French Open. She knows all about Gabby. She saw her in the Wimbledon Championship. That's who she beat a year ago to take down her last Grand Slam title. Muguruza is just that much better now. She's got another year under her belt. Meanwhile, Serena Williams has another year, that's putting her over the top towards retirement. She wants this desperately. You can just feel it in all the interviews she's done. And this is her court. U.S. Open is a big deal to her, but she just truly is the queen of Wimbledon. And I'm going to go out and say she does hold on and takes the title, a little bit more experience and just more drive. I think she is so determined to tie Steffi Graf to at least get to that number and see what else she can do next year or at the U.S. Open coming up in a couple months. Muguruza will be the 2 seed. Serena will be the 1 seed. With Victoria Azarenka dropping out yesterday due to injury, she was like the lone person out there that could possibly make a run. I just don't see anybody else like Radwanska or really Venus Williams, who's had obviously tremendous success at this tournament as well, but that was in years past. It would be an unbelievable upset if it wasn't a rematch of the French Open championships. And as an American, I'll be rooting for Serena Williams. You just kind of feel for some of these athletes like LeBron James, who just took down the title as we saw in Cleveland, not being able to get over the hump in a certain circumstance. Obviously, Serena's gone above and beyond her expectations probably as a 19, 20-year-old coming out. But this is a big deal now to her to tie the greatest of all time, because really Serena, with her power game, she's considered the greatest of her generation. She can take over the greatest of all time now. It's obviously going to be very tough with Muguruza out there, and it should be something to obviously watch down the line here as the 2 weeks unfold. It's going to be a lot of fun, and with that, I want to let you know you've just been on air, and I am Ryan Ayers.